Hello everybody, John Maddox with Homestead again, the homestead that guarantees to do things differently, and I am going to be doing a new thing on the channel. Aside from my other videos that I've been posting, I am going to be keeping a day for day, dollar for dollar log for the entire year of 2023. What we have here is we have a 22-acre property, we have 15 acres of pastures, and we have a little over 7 acres of wood. We have 3 horses and around 25 goats. Our goals for the year are to get 3 to 6 feeder pigs, grow them and sell them, as well as get chickens. We have some tools, as you can see behind me. We have some infrastructure, such as fencing and gates and some other stuff. We have some trailers. We have some stuff already going for this. But I wanted to do a log not only for myself, to understand how much this is actually costing me, because you hear numbers thrown around all the time, but I haven't seen anyone do like a true dollar for dollar daily take on what happens with the farm and how much money goes out versus how much money comes in. So I'm going to be doing 2 versions. I'm going to be doing a cost and price breakdown of my exact dollar for dollar in and out, as well as I will be going through to the T and figuring out, okay, I already had this infrastructure, but if I had nothing, how much would it cost to get where I'm at already? And then add what it's out of pocket currently on top of that. So someone who has never done any of this before, has nothing, has no fences, has no gates, has no tractor, has no nothing. What would it cost them? That way you can get 2 sides of this story. You can get my journey, as well as if you're interested in getting in this and you literally have nothing, about what it would cost. With that being said, I am going to be starting first day, January 5th. I have to go get hay. I'm out of hay, and we get hay around 50 bales at a time, so we'll jump into that. After that, I have built my roadside firewood stand, which you can see right here. It's actually doing pretty well. I need to split some wood for that, for something that I'll talk about in a little bit. I need to get hay out for the horses. We have people coming to look at goats. So it's January 5th, and I'm doing my first big day on the farm where I actually got to spend some money. And every time I do something on the farm where money goes out or money comes in, I'm going to be logging it, recording it, and going and sharing with you guys on what it takes to run my homestead. So stick with me through 2023 with the journey. And I hope you like this content. So let's see what a homestead is going to cost to do horses, goats, pigs, and chickens in 2023. So we're at our hay supplier's place right now, picking up a load of hay. So it's our first load of the year. We come and try and get 50 bales at a time. So this is mostly an alfalfa blend. I don't know the exact percentage. Do you? It's like, I would say it's at least 90% alfalfa. It's mostly alfalfa. So he does cut us a bit of a deal on it being mostly alfalfa. We only pay $6 a bale. So the 50 bales comes out to $300. So we do go pretty heavy through the hay from like November through March, because there's no pastures for the goats to feed on. And then that dives way down in the summer. We do supplement hay over the summer months, but they are mainly eating off pasture with some grain. So, but through the winter months, that's definitely the most expensive part of hay. And this will last us about a month. So 50 bales, 2 bales a day is what we're averaging right now. So 25 days of hay, $300. So just take that into consideration.
Yeah, you should be. All right.
So second thing to do today is to split some firewood. I don't know if you've seen my previous videos, but I made a roadside firewood stand, and it's actually taking off. In the month of December alone, I've already made $410 off of that. Now, that's just people pulling out of the slots. That has also generated people wanting whole ricks of firewood and not pulling out of the slots. Even to the point where another guy who has a roadside firewood stand, he lost his distributor, or his supplier, and he goes through 60 ricks a year. He said he wanted to come and pick up 4 ricks tomorrow. I wanted to have it done, split, stacked, ready for him to pick up. I want to keep him happy. An expense for today was I have the log splitter on the back of the tractor. I had to run that. Running that tractor for, say, 3 hours, I guarantee you I didn't burn an entire gallon, but let's just say 1 gallon of diesel at $5. I have 4 or 5 chainsaws to take all of my actual trees and chunking them up to get them ready for logs, to then turn them into split wood. Say 1 gallon of fuel at $3, and then the mix at $10 for the 2-cycle mix, $5 in diesel. I have $18 in fuel and probably 3 hours of time to get 4 ricks of wood out of this little splitter. It isn't fancy, it isn't big, it does the job. The cool thing about it that I do like is it's a dual action splitter, so it runs down, cuts this way, but as you're running back, you can move the log and cut it again. You can cut on both sides of that, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, so spent $300 this morning on hay, and now we've spent $18 today on splitting wood for some cash out tomorrow. Another thing that we had to do today was disbud some of our goats. We have some goats being sold, but you have it given between 7 and 14 days after a goat's born to be able to disbud them, dehorn them. We're floating between 7 and 12 day mark for almost all of our goats. We've already done 1 wave of them. We had to do another wave today. There's no really cost because we already own the dehorning device. Now, a lot of people might say that's not nice. That's mean to the goat. You're causing harm, da 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 da. But I guarantee you the harm that might be caused in the 30 or 40 seconds of the dehorning is way less than the goats that I've seen that have kept their horns and then they've gotten their heads stuck in fences. They've been trapped for days, or they've broken their own necks and killed themselves because they had their horns and they got stuck. Not to mention the horns between the goats and them fighting each other as they get older. A horn can get sent through the side of another goat, killing it. There's just the amount of damage that can come by leaving a goat's horns on is way higher than the safety factor of taking the horns off. Blow up the comments, get mad, get angry. I don't really care. It's what we do. We feel like it's the more humane thing to do. There's a lot of people that will agree with me. There's a lot of people that won't. It's 2023 now, and that's the world we live in. So we dehorn our goats. So we did that. So I am going to show you some footage of dehorning and take with it what you will. If you want to get angry, have at it. I don't really care. It's a part of farming. It's a part of livestock. If you feel like beef is just grown on trees and thrown in a grocery store, then get a hold of the real world. I'll show you a little bit of footage now. Popped off. And my last thing for the chores of the day is we just moved our horses into this pasture. It being winter, it's actually supposed to snow tonight, tomorrow, and the next day. With the snow coming in, there's no grass for them to eat, so we need to put out a round bale. We have a round bale. We went and got square bales, alfalfa, that is for the goats. The alfalfa is actually a little too rich for the horses. We have a round bale in our barn, and that was $60. So I'm going to grab that tractor with the forks, go scoop that up, dump it over that fence for the horses. Yes, I have a hay spear, and yes, it is the technical right way to do it, but I can get underneath it with forks, and the forks are already on the tractor, so that's what I'm gonna do. Another $60 for hay to feed the horses. From my calculations on what they've been eating, this round bale should last the 3 horses about a week. Once a week, we're about doing that. Let me get fired up and get this thing in there. So I'm parking the tractors outside for now. We got a couple people coming to look at our goats. Final step for the day is to add up how much I spent, how much I made, how many goats we sold. For that, I'm going to go inside to my computer because I'm lost without a spreadsheet in my computer with all this stuff because I can't keep 23 babies in check in my head. 80 or so people that I've talked to about selling them. So let's go ahead and head inside and take a look at the spreadsheet and see how much money we've made or lost today. So I am not at my computer. I'm in my garage. Long story short, my office is just a mess right now and I don't really want to show it on camera. So what I did was I went on my computer and I printed off like a weekly report. This is actually something that I'm going to do for my filing purposes too. For the video, let's go through the entire week. So the first week of expenses. I know I was just heavy on January 5th as my big day, but as I look through my spreadsheet, I started seeing more and more expenses that accumulated through the week. So I'm going to do money in, money out for the week. On January 2nd, that guy that's coming to get 60 rick of wood, he actually went and already picked up 2 rick and prepaid me for a 3rd rick. So he gave me $180 on January 2nd. So that's $180 plus. On January 3rd, we started selling our first round of goats. Now that came fast and quick, and I don't exactly know which day they all landed on as far as deposits go. It was just too much to go in my head. So I know they all happened in the first week. So total number of deposits, dollars in for deposits, is $350. Now, I have a lot more than that in guaranteed money, but that money's not in the bank or in my hands yet, so I'm not counting it. Dollars in is $350 in deposits. It's money we have in our accounts right now. Now, our first money out was the hay that we got earlier. That was $300. Then we had the fuel that I burnt for splitting the firewood. That was $18. And then that bale of hay that I put out for the horses, that was another $60. Now, since me recording on the 5th, I've actually had 2 people stop by, and one person actually stopped by that night of me filming the video and picked up 2 more slots out of my roadside stand, giving me an additional $40. So my total running for the year, for the first week so far, is actually plus $192. I don't really have a name for this series yet. I'm thinking dollars to days on the Homestead or something like that. It's a good title for this because I really want to document how much money is being spent on the farm. Now, there's a good chunk of days, possibly even a couple weeks at a time, where you don't actually spend any money at all. You're just going through the motions and making things work. But more often than not, hopefully you have money coming in. More often than not, you probably have money going out. And I really want to track this. I do a big scramble to just add up all my expenses at the end of the year, but having this as a daily log for myself, it's going to be a nice little journal to go back through and go, where did all my money go? Because that's how I felt for 2022. So hang on for the ride. I'm going to be doing this every week. I'm probably going to be posting Tuesdays or Wednesdays on this because I'd like to sum up Sunday or Monday through Sunday, and then that gives me time Monday and Tuesday to edit and get it up. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked about the first week. I'm sitting in plus already. I don't have my big money coming in from the goats yet, and we actually got a good chunk of stuff in already as far as inventory, such as hay and things like that. So stick around. We'll catch you on the next one. Again, this is John with Nerdstead, the homestead that does things differently.